Alright, I made absolutely sure that I was in like a safe spot, not crossing the street or nothing before I made this video. I recorded this last night. I probably still released the one I made last night because I had some good pointers in there that I may not hit on this one. But we're gonna talk about this Ayesha Curry shit because each one teach one. Because you're only as fast as the last one. You do not want to withhold information or feel like you have a good point of view on something when you know there's some stupid shit out there and you have the intellect to counter that, to make sure people don't get absorbed in the ignorance. This is a fucked up era we're living in right now. This is the era of what I like to call the soccer mom mentality, where it's just accept things the way they are and don't try to better yourself. And I think that's an accurate, terminology for it. Because we've grown up in a time where if somebody is doing some stupid shit, you're wrong for calling them stupid. If there is a man going around in a wig and a dress calling himself a woman and expecting other people to believe that lie, and then you tell him that, motherfucker, you was not a damn woman, you are a full-grown ass man, and then other people get mad at you for pointing that out and talk about, you're wrong for saying that. When you have women out here dressing up like fucking 13-year-old boys trying to call themselves men, and you point that out, and other people get mad at you for that, we're living in a fucked up time. We're living in a time where body shaming is a thing. Man, look at me. I'm black. I'm from the hood. Body shaming was never there was never any such thing as body shaming. If you was fat, you was fat. Every preschool had a fat kid. When I was growing up, man, every preschool had a fat kid. Every middle school had a fat kid. Every elementary school had that one fat kid. You was the fat kid. Straight like that. You ate too much. Maybe it was in your genes or genetics. I don't know. Maybe your parents didn't take care of themselves and it got passed down to you. Who knows? You was the fat kid. That's all we knew. And we just accepted the fact that your ass was fat. And you accepted their ass was fat. You know what I'm saying? And you know what happens? When you tell people things like that, they develop what's called a thick skin, which is missing from this whole fucking generation. Thick skin, because they're being protected by dumbasses who are breeding another generation of dumbasses, because people such as myself aren't stepping up enough to counterbalance the fuck shit. Now, Ayesha Curry. Because I know it's a lot of women out there that's looking at this and they're trying to make excuses as to why she said the things she said. So first of all, for those of you who don't know, I know some of you living under a rock. Ayesha Curry is Stephen Curry's wife, or Steph Curry's wife, as they call him. If you don't know who Steph Curry is, he is number 30 on the Golden State Warriors Bay Area basketball team in the NBA. Pretty much one of the only two basketball teams left in the entire NBA, because you don't hear about nobody else unless it's about the Houston Rockets and James Harden doing some stupid shit. But yeah, like he's a well-known basketball player, and his wife is Ayesha Curry, who's been touted or doing some things over the years. Not bad things, just things, or here and there. I think she had like a cooking show or something like that for like a little bit. I don't know if that's still going, but she had some things going on. And for the long haul, it's a lot of females who looked at Ayesha Curry as the ideal woman to be. And what I mean by that is that Steph Curry, in a lot of women's eyes, or I should say should be every woman's eyes, really, in my opinion, is the ideal, well, not should be, I'm going to just say, in a lot of women's eyes, Steph Curry is the ideal husband for, that any woman would want, you know what I'm saying? He has everything that you need to be stable. He's a The dude's a multi-millionaire. He's humble. The guy, he's God-fearing. You know, that's always a plus for the, you know what I'm saying, for the ladies, because not all of us is with God yet. No, I'm just gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? He's a gentle soul, at least from the way he expresses himself in the public. You know, we haven't heard any reports of him doing any bullshit behind closed doors, because, you know, people quick to expose that. So he's just, you know, he's an honest, good guy that just so happens to be who got famous as a basketball player, and he's expressing that humbleness and that joy to the world, to where people can look at him and be like, ah, now there's an ideal husband. You know, he's a loving father. You know, have, you know, multiple kids by, you know, Ayesha Curry, the same baby mama. You know what I'm saying? Didn't come into the situation with a bunch of kids. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women are looking at that and being like, damn, that's an ideal husband, and they got to settle for fucking Johnny with the 40 ounce up the street. You know what I'm saying? Already with baby mama drama and shit like that. But for them, that's as good as it's gonna get. So they just got to deal with it. So, but yeah, Ayesha Curry, she went on this podcast, well, I believe it's considered a podcast. These days, I don't fucking know. Talk shows, podcasts, is all the fucking same to me. Called The Red Table, I believe it was called. And I think that's Jada Pinkett Smith's podcast, where she brings, you know, different women on there, or different men, you know, different people, to talk about, you know, personal things going on with them and how they evolve past certain, you know, stresses, or even talk about their vices, or you know, or their, you know, depression, or things that, or the insecurities, which is what this was. So in the midst of, you know, and correct me on any of that if I am wrong, but she was on this talk show, right? And mind you, this is, you know, this is a national talk show. Well, it's on the internet, but it's on national eyes. Anybody can see it, so we're gonna say it's national. She mentioned something that, and this is what kind of has the internet in a stir, because she mentioned how, you know, she felt, and I'm just summarizing, I'm not saying what she said verbatim, but basically this is what she said. She said she always felt like something was wrong with her, because when she was out by herself, she felt bad because other guys weren't after her, basically. And, you know, I've been on multiple forums, Facebook or whatever the case may be, and I've, you know, debated with multiple people on this. You know, some people agree with me, some people don't, and I'm just looking at this from the perspective of, you have women in this world that will always defend fuck shit just because it's a woman that said the shit, and they trying to find some excuse because they don't want the woman to look bad in the situation, because they feel like vicariously they can live through that woman, and if that woman, you know, takes a L, then somehow she takes a L. You know, they think like that, you know. And Ayesha Curry is, like I said, she's in an ideal position that any woman would want to be in, as far as a wife, you know what I'm saying, having a loving husband that's God-fearing, and all the accolades and all the traits and, you know what I'm saying, things that Stephen Curry brings to the table as a man to a household. You know what I mean? He, from the way things look, is the ideal husband for a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? And you can, and along with those things I mentioned before, the guy's like 6 foot plus, so a lot of women want a tall dude. So we can say that that's something that a lot of women want. But you know what I'm saying? But everybody's in an uproar, because every year prior to her saying this, at least from what we've been exposed to, she's never shown any sign of these insecurities. So there's always this feeling when somebody says things like this, like, so what have you been feeling all these damn years? You know what I mean? So there's that right there. With that being said, I need to take the time out to tell every woman in this world and every man out there that thinks she's a fucking woman, because some of y'all out there are just fucking delusional, and I'm throwing that out there. You are. You're a grown ass man, and it's not about y'all. That's a topic for another video. I don't hate y'all. I don't, because it is what it is. But at the same time, you know, we're gonna call a spade a spade. And I know I look ridiculous. I know y'all gonna talk all about my fucking Super Saiyan Vegeta shirt. Some of y'all call them Goku, because I know some of y'all don't know shit when it comes to anime, let alone Dragon Ball Z. But you know, whatever. Some of y'all probably thought this was Yu Yu Hakusho, but we're gonna leave that, you know. but but yeah, all jokes aside, um, Ayesha Curry is in an ideal situation for any woman who aspires to be a wife to any man. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? You have kids by the same guy. He's, he's everything that a woman would want. Maybe not the light skin part, because I know some women like they like they chocolate, not all women are in the nougat, but, they are basically in uh, that situation. And, people are just curious as to why would she go out of all things. I mean, I understand that the platform she was speaking on basically introduces that, invites that type of energy and that type of environment. But there was all people were wondering why she felt like she had to say that, or why is she feeling like this? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, and I think somebody else said this. Some dude I don't know. He said this on a live stream, but basically I was thinking this even before he even mentioned it. In a marriage, when you start to have insecurities like that, it breeds problems. It'll be one thing if she was single and she's trying to find somebody to be with, and that's fine. You're single. You're trying to, date. You're trying to get the attention of guys. You're trying to do things like that. But when you're a married woman, when you're in a marriage, let me just say that, when you're in a marriage, or in this particular case, when you're a married woman, the only person you should be worrying about impressing, leaving the house or even going out the house, is the person that you're married to, like the man that you're married to. Nobody else's opinion about you should even matter. You know what I mean? And same thing for men. You shouldn't be out here trying to impress all these fucking women and shit like that. You got a woman at home. Who gives a fuck what they think? You know? But this is what I was talking about earlier when I said people just defending people based on gender and shit like that. Women defending women. And you have women right now who's trying to defend this shit, talking about, oh, every woman wants to be desired. That's the mentality of a fucking child. When you are married, you shouldn't be so concerned, because you got to understand what type of energy that's inviting. When you're married, you're in a committed, lifelong agreement that this is the person that I want to be with. There's no other person out there that is doing it for me. From the story of how they met when they were younger, and how, they went to the same college. I think went to the same college as she did, or something like that. Or stayed, one of them stayed with each other just so they can go to the same college and still be around each other. This is a committed, long-term thing. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, y'all wasn't thinking about being with other people, and if y'all was, that's not how it turned out. You know what I mean? It seemed like y'all cared about each other for a long-ass time before it got to the marriage, so it's just like, you know what I mean? You should have got all that out your system prior to, being married or whatever like that. But the case in point is this: you shouldn't be thinking like that now that you're married, especially since you are in a winning position as a woman. Like, you're in a very winning position. Why the fuck are you desiring attention from men that probably don't even have half the shit that Stephen Curry got? Don't even have half the fucking, humility. Half of the humility that Stephen Curry has. Or at the very least, he knows how to act in public. Behind closed doors, hey, whatever the fuck he does. So, when you have women defending that type of mentality, you're telling them that it's okay with acting like it's nothing wrong with acting like that. You know what I mean? Don't defend that type of bullshit. That's bullshit right there. I'm starting to wonder if somebody got into her head or something like that, because she never acted like this. For example, some of you guys probably remember that. I can't remember who the Warriors were playing at that time, but Stefan, I think he was getting interviewed by some woman from ESPN or some sports news network, and the woman was interviewing him, and Ayesha Curry, she came, she just, walked over there, kissed Stefan on the shoulder, left like a lipstick mark over there, and it was just like a subtle, playful way to let everybody who's seeing Stefan that may, desire for him, just to let the world know, hey, he's my man, and nobody else can have him. You know what I mean? That's just like a little subtle way of doing things. Um, she did things like that. Hell, I'm gonna edit out this part of the video, or I'm not edit out, but I'm gonna edit in this little tweet that she made back in 2011, where she mentioned about bragging about being engaged, and guys need to stop trying to holler at her. I'm gonna edit that in real quick. You know what I mean? And there's some females in this world, and this is why I want. This is really what I wanted to bring up before. Um, there's ratchet females in this fucking world that grow up the same way comedians grow up, or the same way, you know what I'm saying, people who play video games, be it professionally or casually, or people who, they have skills in a certain whatever, and they're very passionate about it. You have females in the world that just grow up wanting to reject somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen plenty of situations where you had females who had, friends who they felt like, well, I guess was like the cutest one out the bunch. She getting hit up in her DMs like 100-fold, and you looking at your DMs and you ain't getting jack shit. So every day you wake up, you got to hear something mentioned from your friend about how, how she had to like turn down or reject, or like, what I'm saying, let 100 dudes know why, she's not interested in them and things like that. And I'm just like, you probably over there thinking like, well, shit, at least you got dudes hitting you up. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something there that just like, it doesn't sit well with me, and nobody should be trying to defend her thinking like that. You know what I mean? It's females in this world that wake up wanting to reject somebody. It's like they go to sleep the same way comedians go to sleep and they wake up with like new jokes in their head. It's females that literally go to sleep and wake up thinking of new ways of how they're gonna shut down some dude they're trying to talk to them. You know what I mean? And if they can record it, they're gonna record it, especially these days, because they, that's bragging rights for them. Because low key, they like that shit. They just like the fact that they can embarrass a dude, and it makes the points on there. I guess their cute meter or their attractive meter go up because she's making herself seem like she's not available to everybody, or whatever the case is. Um, it's a situation. It's bad when you have that type of mentality running rampant, and that's supposed to be what young women and even grown women are looking up to as to what they should be in order to find them, like, you know what I mean, or to get attention. Not all attention is good attention, and you don't want that type of attention, especially if you're in a relationship. Um, like, you have females that will literally go out their way to wear skimpy clothes, purposely perk their ass up, take pictures, put it on their Instagram, get like 1 million likes, and then get mad when a dude hit them up in their inbox. Because, I mean, I'm a guy, I'm attracted to that type of stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to hit you up in your inbox. Let me see what he do. I mean, I don't do that shit, but I'm just saying, I'm speaking for other dudes that do that. But no, I don't really do that shit. I really don't. I ain't got time for the bullshit. But, it's dudes that see that and they're attracted to that, so they're going to try to shoot their shot. And you being the female doing that shit, they're going to try to shoot their shot, so you already got your block set up before it even starts. You know what I mean? Those gears are already turning in your head. And you're not even trying to think that, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Because as a married woman, you got to think. Let's say you get what you asked for, right? Let's say you get what you asked for. You get all the attention that you want from other dudes when your man not around. What do you expect to happen next? Because that energy is going to be followed up by something. You know what I'm saying? It may start off with like a cute, compliment. You know what I'm saying? It could, matter of fact, think about it like this. Let me not jump around. It could be, you get what you asking for. A guy approaches you, wanting to talk to you or whatever, regardless of if he knows that, you're married or not, and you end up turning down, rejecting him, but you set out there and you put this energy out there that you're available for other dudes to talk to you. You know what I mean? So now it's like you're constantly bringing that energy around, when as a married woman or as a woman in any committed relationship, you should be putting up these signals that you're not available to talk to like that. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to have maybe like a compliment here and there, and it should stop right there. And you should know if the compliment is going to lead to a conversation that's going to be, mistaken or going to be taken as somebody trying to flirt with you. First off, all flirting and if you're in a committed relationship or if you're married, all flirting outside of that is should be banned. You know what I'm saying? That should not be allowed. You should not be flirting with other motherfuckers for whatever fucking reason. You know what I mean? And if you feel like you're not getting that at home, you need to express to your significant other that, I would like for things like this to happen more often. You know what I mean? You got your hair, like your hair did or whatever case like that, and you feel like, oh, if I got other dudes trying to talk to me, maybe he'll step his game up or whatever. You know what I mean? Like little stupid shit like that. You're going to cause conflict in that relationship because imagine if Stefan would have said this shit on that count. It would be a bunch of women right now just barking at him like, what you mean? Like, you got a fine woman at home doing it. Like, you know they would be doing it, especially the ratchet bitches, and I call them what they are. They ratchet bitches. They not women, you know what I'm saying? Some of them might be hoes, but they're ratchet bitches. They just, that's what the fuck they are. They just messy. They'll be, you know, calling Stefan everything but the child of God, man. You know that. They'll get on this case about non-stop, you know what I mean? And because you know how these females do. It's like when a woman, that double standard shit. When a woman says something like Ayesha Curry says, oh, it's sympathy and all this all around. A man does that same shit, all of a sudden he's the worst. He like you know what I'm saying? He's the worst thing created. You know what I'm saying? He's the worst thing on earth. How dare you make her feel like that? Well, how you think she making Steph feel right now? That man probably at home thinking, well, I'm pretty sure they conversated since then because this happened. The situation happened like a couple days ago, but he probably at home thinking, damn, maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm hitting it from the left and she want me to hit it from the right. You know what I mean? Just like little shit like that. She probably, he probably over there having thoughts to himself like maybe he's not doing enough as a husband. You know what I'm saying? When he is doing enough, you just have like you're just an insecure woman who wants attention that you shouldn't even be craving for to begin with, from people you shouldn't be craving it from, I should say. And that's what I was trying to get at. You know, you shouldn't be encouraging this type of behavior or saying things like this without consulting your significant other first. You know what I'm saying? As a single person, it's good to want to be desired. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women out there, they look up to Beyonce. Beyonce ain't out here entertaining all these other dudes. It's one thing if when they say you're a sex symbol, that just basically means you're attractive to a lot of people. That's basically all it is. And a lot of people want to fuck you. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean you want to even entertain them. And Beyonce don't entertain that shit. She's an entertainer, but she don't entertain those dudes. You know what I'm saying? She know what she got at home. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what Jay-Z may have done in the past, may have cheated on her. She understands that Jay-Z has matured past that shit, and she has her a grown-ass man that's about his business and about his family. And that's worth focusing on outside of her, when she's not on tour or, busy making new hit music, making new hit music about how men ain't shit and how men are shit and how, women are everything and then, saying then women need to appreciate their man. You know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of mixed subjects. When she's not busy making hits, she's focused on her family. She's focused on her man. She's focused on her child. You know what I'm saying? Her children, because I think she had another daughter, but I don't be in people's business like that. Something else people need to learn how to do. Mind your shit. But since everybody's talking about this, I figured why not put my 2 cents in. Hey, it's 2 cents more than what you had. Add it to your money, you might get $1. See, that's a gem right there. But some of y'all not ready for that yet. But yeah, man. When it comes right down to it, no married woman or any woman in a committed relationship should be thinking like this, and no man should be thinking like this either. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be insecure because people who you shouldn't be getting attention from isn't giving you attention. Who gives a shit at the end of the day? If me, I've always been a one woman type of man. Some of us, we matured past, high school. We've been through that shit where we had some dudes. I seen dudes have like multiple girlfriends, quote unquote, and it's just a mess after that. And me being the person I am, see, I'm what you call a student of the game. I peep things like that, and I see the outcome, and I tell myself I do not want to be a part of that shit. I don't want to be around that drama or nothing like that. So I put myself in a position where I can stay away from it. And how do I do that? By focusing on being on a one woman man, and then being a man, I focus on one woman, and we're happy. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do. That's how I handle things. And other grown people should be on that same shit. And if you're not grown yet, you know what I'm saying, you should train yourself to be like that. Because the world is vast, you know what I'm saying? You have a lot of options out there. Take your time. Just don't do no stupid shit in the midst of you, you know what I'm saying, doing that. But nevertheless, man, grow, stay healthy, and, you know what I'm saying, don't desire things from people who you're not supposed to be getting them from in the first place. That's basically what I want to get to. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys, man. Take care. If any more videos like this need to be made, you know what I'm saying, of course I'll, find time. I'll try to do my best to find time to do it, because I don't do videos like this often. But I definitely think there's a place for these type of videos on my channel. So I just try to focus on that. So with that being said, man, check out the Teespring stores. The collective kicks are being released this month. The Be a Warrior contest video is coming up this week and within the next couple days. And the contest is basically going to be, if you guess the day that I'm going to release the shoes this month, if you can guess the day that I'm going to release the shoes, then you get a free pair of shoes. You get a free pair of collective kicks, OGs. And they have more designs coming in the near future, so you guys be on the lookout for that. But yeah, man, that being said, thank you guys so much for paying attention. Keep being a warrior, World Warriors Collective, and remember, be humble in victory, be gracious in defeat, but show no mercy in battle.